there's no other way of saying it. We get Reiner and Bertold at top of the wall. Alrighty, guys, let's head back to camp. Hey, Reiner says, let me talk to you really quick. Just really quick, come over here for a second. I need to tell you something really quick.
You also have Mikasa and Sasha walking away.
Meanwhile, everyone's bombastic side-eye. Freaking, what's going on back there, dude? Criminal side-eye. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome back to another episode of Medium Podcast. It's your host, Melissa Nami.
And it's me, Connor.
And I'm your co-host, Mason Hilua.
Oh, what's up, guys?
What's up? Season 2.
What's up, my scouts?
Season 2.
But we got to touch back on season 1 just a little bit. It was our first time. It was our first episode. I realized I want to do like a takeaways at the end of it, Con.
At the end of each episode?
Yeah, we didn't do like a season 1 takeaway. We also didn't talk about, did we talk about Titan in the Wall?
Yeah,
we
but we couldn't really spend much time on 1-2 minutes. There's too much that happens, but that is the mic drop. That is the oh shit.
Yeah.
It just got real, you know, so we could probably, touch up on that.
I'll help you out, brother. There we
touch
go.
Up on that.
Yeah.
Here we check 1, 2, 3.
I should have just fucking. I'm just kidding. Oh man. So tell me, what are your top 5 takeaways for season 1? I want to start there.
Just rapid fire?
It doesn't need to be rapid fire. You can elaborate.
So it's obviously Titans versus humans. Multi-tiers of Titans. I would say important takeaway is like knowing who our main 3 are, because like knowing those guys, who they are, what they represent, their behaviors, that's important for the rest of the season.
Who are our main 3 in your eyes?
Probably Mikasa, Eren, and Armin, our childhood friends.
Our childhood friend. We all grew up together.
4th takeaway is the acknowledgement of the basement. Just, what that is. And like, that's going to be one of the ultimate goals for like the immediate future. And then last is the Titan in the Wall. Ending, remember how we ended is pretty important, because that's immediately where we pick up in season 2, which is nice. Not a lot of shows do that. So
I'm with you on a few of those.
What would you add?
The ones that I would add, well, you said basement, Titan Wall. The ones that I don't agree, not that I don't agree with, I guess, but like my first one is humans can be Titans too. Because you said humans versus Titans. And I thought that was one of the crazier things, was realizing like, what? They could turn into what? Like, that was pretty nuts for me, that whole reveal with Eren. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, like just knowing that humans can they can transfigure or whatever into Titans.
Yes.
That's a big one for me. And then also, it shows you very early on the dynamic with like what's going on with the people and then the government. Because it shows you pretty, right at the beginning when they're like, no, you stay here. As far as
well, I mean, it's the whole class system too.
The hierarchy.
Ring, middle ring, lower ring. If you've watched Avatar: The Last Bender, you know that the lower rings are usually for the poor people.
Yeah.
Middle rings are for the fancy people ruling everything. It's pretty similar with our country as well. So
yeah, 100%. Connor, you got some takeys?
Not at the moment. You guys continue on with this and I'll think of some stuff.
Do you any that you don't agree with that we just said?
No, not at all. I think the basement's a huge one though.
Yeah.
The basement's huge.
And then they don't talk about it for a whole fucking season.
Well,
it's season 2.
It's just the symbol of the key, like a key unlocks something, and it's like we want to know like what is going on in this world. That's the question: is what is going on?
Yeah.
Why are we here? How did we get here? Oh boy.
I feel like a lot of those questions start getting answered in season 2.
Yes.
As far as connecting the dots with if we go back to season 1 just a little bit and we look back on Erwin, walking up to Eren and telling him, who do you think the real enemy is here? We immediately assume, like, again, I thought like government, your population, your regular like civilization, right?
Yeah.
That hierarchy. But in season 2, we start realizing that it's much deeper than what we believed.
I mean, you even get to a certain part of the show where it's like our homies end up being the bad guys, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, who is the real enemy?
You have to become what you need to defeat. You need to let go of your humanity. That's Armin.
Totally.
Quoted. What's up? All right. We could get started.
Okay.
On season 2.
Season 2 is just so fire.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you want to start?
So, okay, let's go really quick. Season 1 ends. We catch Annie. They reveal a Titan in the wall. We go on, right? The first thing that we see is there's, what is it? Titans in Wall Rose. Mm-hmm. That's how it kind of opens up, right? There's been a breach. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of Pastor Nick, grabbing Hanji saying, cover it up.
Yep.
Don't let the sunlight touch it. Like, okay, sunlight means something. That's part of the equation,
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, something as, a member of the Order of the Walls. Like,
Yeah.
they have this, like, secret that they keep. She even, dangles him off the wall. Like, tell me. And he's like, nah, like, this is what we do. So she's even got to recognize that. She's like, all right, I respect it. Like, don't agree with it, but I respect it. So these guys are definitely culty, but they have important information to our world. So,
and that they're directly affiliated with the government too, like that they have a say in what goes on and to a degree, because they're in all like the seatings and stuff like that, or the hearings or whatever it is.
They were like trying to get Aaron, like, just immediately disposed of when he was in court in season 1.
Yep. So we move on, right? So that's how it really opens up. They're on the wall. She's threatening him. They're like, Hanji, chill out.
It's right where we left off, yeah.
And then where does it break off? Because there's a point where they start looking for, there's the breach, right? There's Titans in Wall Rose.
Yes. So it's we do a little bit of flash forwarding and flash back when we're talking about the group that's at Ugard Castle.
Yes.
That's an important arc right there. So when it comes to season 2, I say it starts off with what I consider as the Krista Historia arc. So that's where we're like, we begin season 2 and then we're showing our actors at Ugard Castle. Reiner, Berthold, you have that one squad which consists of Mike, the guy with the nose, Nanaba, oh gosh, saying that name, we need to bring up something with her. So yeah, there's a certain group of people at Ugard Castle, while the remaining, Aaron, Levi, and some of the other actors are within a different part of the wall.
They're still basically in the city,
and so
type of thing.
They're just sitting there. Sasha's laying on the table. She gets her country girl senses. She says, I hear something. Something's going on. They're like, oh, you're crazy. Nanaba says, hey, yo, we got 9 Titans. We don't know where they're coming from. They must have breached Wall Rose. That's the only thing we could think of.
Yep.
So that's what kicks off that arc. We have Emir there. We have Krista there. So that's kind of where this story gets divided up. Gets brought back together. They do a really good job this season with keeping us interested with action, and then explaining everything so that when it pays off, it actually means something.
Yeah, they really do, and they kind of hold that the whole season. Well, as far as they're showing us 2 things at once.
I brought it up in the last episode where they show you something that's happening. That's like, oh, what's about to happen? And then they flash back and explain how we got there, which happens this season. So we can get into that more. So you're right. The first couple episodes, the way that I kind of saw it, like the first one as far as the Beast Titan, was kind of like an introductory to there's more than what we know, right? There's other intelligent Titans out there. Because we kind of see that going on when Mike, he's the one who ends up fighting him. And he's described as second to Levi. Like, this dude's badass. Like,
oh, and he was fucking shit up before anything happened.
Yeah, so I definitely want to, acknowledge him as a character. Like, you have a show with so many characters. It's you gotta remember the side ones that kind of offer some cool, or they got cool skills or something like that.
He had his own little goated like moment type of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, it pops off for them. They say, hey, everyone, like, get to the basement or whatever, get to the top, and they're like, we got to fight these off. So
yeah, but first they break off. It's before they get to Ugard Castle. They leave their little station, right, and then they go. Sasha goes home. That's when we
So
meet.
yeah, that's what they say. They say, hey, we got Titans.
Yeah.
You don't have time to get your gear on. Grab some horses, go evacuate nearby towns.
Yep.
Connie's like, wait, they're coming from the south. That's my town. I could get into too much detail. I don't know how fast you want to.
No, because these are things that I kind of want to touch on, because the first season really highlights specifically to me Aaron, Mikasa, Armin, Jean, as far as our main, I would say like how it goes is like main 5 at the end of it all, right? But Jean is really highlighted in season 1, and then we get our scouts, like the homies, right? The beginning of season 2, they kind of start showing us a little bit of badassery, like
Sasha,
Connie's brave.
Connie, Krista, Mir, Reiner, Berthold.
That's when we start getting to know them a little more. And it starts off with Sasha. She's a badass. She could hear, right? She's got a good sense of hearing. When she starts taking off to her hometown, they show her noticing footprints.
Yeah, well, it's hard for us to watch in the sub, but they give her the equivalent of a country accent in Japanese.
Yes.
So she really, in tune with, like,
Yep.
I don't know how to do a proper accent there.
It sounded pretty good. You
Well,
sounded like Red Dead
Country
right there,
bumpkin,
bro.
like, you don't know how to use the internet, you know how to go track a squirrel, like type of stuff.
Yeah, and they show that, so you're like, okay, wait a second. So she's more than just our hungry comical character.
She's a hunter for sure. She,
Yep.
She shows that with her marksman skills.
Yeah, the fucking scene they give her for the flashbacks, her being all feral. She's like, I need food.
Yeah.
The best. He's my
She's the
favorite.
best.
Yeah, but that whole, talk with her dad is revealing of her character as a whole. You know, what does he say? We can't live in the dark forest, or essentially, it's
You got to basically
it's-
move forward into the future.
It's very it's very telling of the world.
Yeah. And her point of view, because again, like she was so reluctant to want to help people, but look at her now, she's in the scouts. It's like, damn, she really did a 180.
So yeah, they break off and they go evacuate nearby villages and stuff, and that's where many things transpire. I don't know how in depth you want to go.
You don't need to keep saying that every time we're getting in depth.
Well,
fucker.
Obviously Sasha protects a future character that we meet in a later season.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say is like they start highlighting our side characters. Like Sasha's
Yes.
brave. She's not afraid of adversity.
Yeah.
She's willing to put her life on the line for strangers now,
absolutely.
right?
She's a scout.
Yeah, Connie, he's brave. He didn't even think twice before going home.
Yeah,
even
he's
though
loyal to his family. He said,
Yes.
"Hey, I'll go evacuate, but let me go home."
Yep.
Like that's what we know Connie for is he loves his family.
we're getting to know their motivations.
Family is important to Connie.
Yeah. So
oh man, just saying that. Oh.
And then that's kind of they do their own little thing, and then when they get back, right, little girl goes off with Sasha's dad. She ends up regrouping with everybody
Yes.
at Utgard Castle, and then that's when shit starts
when
taking off.
nighttime, and that's where we see the yes.
Yep. So I like that whole thing because there's a lot of little tiny how do you say it? The episode ends and they're at the castle, right? And it's nightfall, so we assume everything's okay.
Do we want to talk a little bit more about the Beast Titan and what we've seen of him?
Yeah. So the episode also ends with our guy Mike getting fucking killed.
Yep. Mike's, like, hey, I just slaughtered a bunch of Titans. Let me call my horse. I'm going to avoid that 17-meter tall hairy one I've never seen before. He ain't coming after me. Picks up, it's referenced as Horse 26A. Shout out to Horse 26A.
Isn't that shit funny how they label him?
What?
Titan 52-3.
He just fastballs this thing, knocks him off the roof, and like these weird Titans. Like for some reason, they really focus on the way these Titans look.
Yeah.
You have one with the big nose. You have one that's like shy, and these Titans are there for a reason. Let's just say. They start munching on him. Beast Titan pauses them. He says, "Stop." Speaks, commands them to stop. And they stop. Well,
the one chews a little more.
he says, "Wait a minute! I told you to stop." He like pops his head,
Yep.
communicating with Mike.
Gangster.
He's like, "Hey, what you doing here?" And Mike's just like terrified. He's just like, "What you got?" He takes his ODM gear. He's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna study this. Take this home."
Yeah.
Starts turning around, starts walking away, and Mike has this flashback of it's never over until you give up, and he just screams out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's not a smart move because he's just like, "Oh, hey, you can move again."
I know. Yeah. Talk about ruining your act of surprise.
Like, get to the roof and then you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, at all. Surprise
Yeah,
him.
no.
Silent.
if you're trying to live,
That's one thing that needs to stop happening in animes is telegraphing your next move constantly.
Ninjas are successful for a reason. It's not because they sneak up like, I'm gonna get
That's
ya.
something that's very prevalent in this season is Aaron. I'm gonna kill you, immediately socked in the face. Like it happens, just like keep it until after you win the fight.
No,
Then,
give me your best Aaron voice. But give me the best I'm gonna kill you Aaron
Japanese
impression.
or English?
You go ahead, do Japanese, go.
No.
Oh. I thought you could do it.
Hell no.
you want me to like actually do it?
Yeah, give me your I'll do my best too, and
All right.
Connor could try his.
My favorite
goodness.
line is oh geez, it's a damn you traitor as he's falling, which is in this season.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes too.
Damn you traitor.
I give up already. I'm not gonna do as good as that. I
can't
don't know any
actually.
lines.
I always think of you rat bastards. I'm gonna kill you.
The dub voice, yes,
yeah.
the dub voice is very yes. Okay, that's a great one.
Come on.
Okay, well, give me a line because I don't know any lines. Off
You
the
could
top of my head.
literally just go.
Because he's a baby. Yeah.
Yep.
Is that good?
Nailed it, dude.
Perfect.
Those are
He does cry a lot. Yeah.
He cries so much.
He does. That's what Aaron is known
But
for.
no, it's
I don't blame
okay.
him. I do too.
It's toxic masculinity if you make fun of boys for crying. It's okay for boys to cry. He's going through a lot.
Yeah, he's going through a lot more than I am when I'm crying.
I know, right? Right? Oh man, but yeah. And that's kind of freaky because up until that point, Titans have never spoken.
Nope.
That's why Mika is so like taken back.
I think I have in my notes here. His actual death too. You know how we were just talking about like brutal deaths last time? Like
Yeah.
his is a brutal death.
Oh yeah.
Like you see a Titan like on the crown of his head, he gets ripped in half. Like bro, that one's rough.
Oh yeah, and he was already going through pain because they just chomped his legs a little bit.
So I guess it's a little bit of ahead too, but another character that's soon to meet their fate. Ugar Castle, the attack on that.
Oh yep, yeah. Let's keep it going. So yeah, the season 2. I think that's episode 2 and 3, 4. All of that goes on at Ugar. It goes back and forth.
So before
between the
everything
two.
pops off, it's relatively quiet there, and we do get a very telling, very under the radar interaction between Amir and Reiner.
That shit was fucking tight.
You
I
want to
thought
go
that was
into
tight.
that?
Yeah.
So we see Amir just rummaging through this castle's basement provisions, and Reiner comes in, and they're just talking, oh, what'd you find? And she's like, oh, I found some herring or some sort of canned fish with some symbols on there. And it takes a couple seconds for it to register, but Reiner gets this very shocked look on his face, and he goes, wait a minute, how do you know what's in that can, or how do
Yeah.
you know what that says? Which would only say that you know that language, or
Indicate
you know
it's a
what those
different
symbols mean. Obviously, maybe the people on the island don't know what those symbols are,
Yeah.
so these come from somewhere else, is what we could maybe possibly deduce.
I got a little
at that
beef.
moment.
I got a little beef with that scene. Like we're here in America. Let's say we were doing espionage somewhere. If you found out that 5 years later someone you've been kicking it with spoke the same secret language as you, wouldn't you be like, dude, what's up, homie? What are you doing here? Hold on a second.
Yeah, he gets the look of like, oh shit.
No, he tries to be a good actor and he fucking sucks at it.
Yeah. So like right as they get into that, door slams open. We got company, and
Distraction.
we get epic music.
Yeah.
Titans coming. We got the squad defending. Eventually, they kind of start losing.
Yeah.
We start seeing our scouts go down. Titans are getting in. Reiner actually has to like take a bite to the arm defending a castle door. But I wanted to bring up the character Nanaba, the female scout that's defending them, one of the goats.
The clear lesbian.
Her death like monologue
Is weird.
it's weird.
Daddy.
Yeah. What is she's like, Daddy, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, while she's getting eaten by Titans. So I don't know if that's like a psychology thing, but it's like, it's very strange, but
It's weird.
It's very weird.
What? I don't remember this.
Exactly. It's quick. She's getting ripped apart, but she has this weird dialogue of like, Daddy, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, and like death. It's just like,
What?
exactly. We're just sitting there like, oh, okay, there goes another great
She's
scout, like
She's talking about
badass brave person deduced to basic, I don't know what you call that, you know, like
Tummy
reconciliation.
poopies.
I don't know,
Yeah,
like
she had a dirty
trauma
diaper.
of some sort, huh?
Yeah, dirty diaper.
He caught her eating pussy.
So yeah, that's when it's just like, you know,
I'm sorry, Daddy.
they get to the top of the castle, and now it's just, you know, maybe Reiner, Bertold, Krista, and Amir and Connie at that point, I believe. And they start attacking that, you know, column, and it looks like the castle's actually going to go down, right?
Yeah.
And so that's when we get our Krista Emir kind of arc, I say.
Yeah, we start getting their little lesbian
And
love story going on.
And I don't
there.
know if you agree or not, but it's like, I believe there's like many important episodes. Like there's almost no filler in this. There is one episode out of this rewatch that I do fast forward almost the entire episode.
The Historia episode?
It's the one where they're in the snow,
Yeah.
and it's showing their relationship building.
Same.
And it's like, that episode's important because it ends with Amir saying, I'm going to protect you, jumping off the castle, slicing her hand, and
Yeah.
herself like becoming a Titan. But the rest of that is just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. But that's the only episode that I feel like that. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck about what's his name, Dax.
Yeah,
Right?
it's just
Fuck
kind of
that
like
guy.
a drawn out, like,
Fuck that guy.
yeah.
I watched it.
It's important.
I watched
but-
it the first time and then I never watched it again.
Exactly.
But I do think it's pretty lit. I also think it's pretty crazy that the end of it is Ymir slicing her hand into a Titan. Because over here, I'm like, another one? You know, that
Yep.
was kind of nuts. Because she's kind of been in the background the whole time. Like, not necessarily badass or out there or anything, I guess. But I liked it. I thought it was cute how she was ready to risk her life to save Krista.
Yeah, so she jumps off. She starts going to town as like a small, really agile Titan. You know, she's just like jumping, killing Titans, stuff like that. So she knows how to use this Titan, unlike, I would say, like Eren when he first transformed. It was kind of just like autopilot.
Yeah.
So it's strange the look that Reiner and Bertold have too. They're almost like stunned beyond belief, not just stunned like our other characters, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
So-
the cool part about this that I want to talk about is when they're on the roof with the whole crew. Mm-hmm. That's kind of when Reiner and Bertold see the Beast Titan for the first time.
So, yes.
And how
they
scary.
exchange certain words. They're just like, it's kind of like, hey, bro, mission critical. Like, what does this mean for our mission? Are we in trouble? Like, there's something going on there.
Yeah, and I think it's fucking dope the way that when you watch again, because I think you're the one who said it last time, is like there's no foreshadowing, it's all surprise. But when you watch it again on the rewatch, that's when it's like like
You pick
chef's
up
type of
clues.
kiss.
No.
Yes.
Like, the definition of foreshadowing in the dictionary is this episode we're talking about right here, especially when Amir starts losing, you know?
Yeah.
And Krista's like, don't die just to protect me in this castle that's falling down. She's like, rip the damn thing. And so that's when Amir starts ripping apart this stone castle to use in defense against all these Titans.
Yeah.
And the castle starts coming down. And in this one shot, as the castle's coming down, Amir jumps to the top and says, grab on.
Yeah, that was a good impression.
In this exact 2-second frame, it shows the people on top of the castle as it's falling. You have, I think it's Connie, Bertold,
Yeah.
Reiner, and it shows Bertold in the position getting ready to bite his hand. Like, that's indicative of a Titan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how a Titan transforms.
Well, a lot of it, right? Because when Sasha's like, "Oh, I hear footsteps. There's Titans coming," the first thing Reiner says is, "That's impossible," because he's like, "I'm the only one that does that."
So
I let him in.
it's just unbelievable detail.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would
yeah.
never look for it. When you're watching it, it's 1-2 move.
It's a
Like,
frame. Yeah.
And until your second, third rewatch, do you really appreciate, like, dude, he was about to transform in. Okay.
Yeah.
He was about to do something to defend himself, you know?
Which is cooler if you're reading the manga. I'm assuming that still is in the manga, or is it not?
I would imagine.
believe so.
I would imagine
'Cause
you would be like, "What? Yeah."
It's a
'Cause
game of I Spy
once you
at
get
that point.
one issue, you probably have it for however many until the next issue comes out. So you're just looking at it frame by frame.
I think that's fucking dope too. But
But-
yeah, you're right. There's a lot of foreshadowing, but also you don't know what's really happening until you know it's happening.
And a lot of stuff is revealed in this episode and the next episode.
Yeah.
So
I guess the Armor Titan and Reiner kind of have the same haircut. That's another
They
one.
look
Kind of military
identical to
Yeah.
each other.
So yeah, I guess that episode ends with, I guess, Amir saving them, and as the Titans come up from the rubble, epic music plays. You know, all the scouts come in, start cleaning up. Eren gets his first ODM kill.
Yeah, he's
you
all
know?
pumped on it.
Oh my gosh,
cute.
it's a great scene, man. It's like, hell yeah, dude, scouts still got it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But it ends with, you know, looking at this, you know, armless, legless body of Amir, like with her Titan mark stretches, you know, muscle stretches. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, she is a Titan, you know. So what's her story? That's how that episode ends.
Yeah. It's I have it written here because I kind of have it like broken down by episode, and it literally says season 2 episode 5 Historia filler, lame ass episode they just should have banged.
Oh my god, you're terrible.
I hate myself for that too.
Should have.
Pass Melissa, fuck off.
Oh my god.
They should have just
But
banged.
no, it ends with her saying her real name, I guess. And my name is Historia.
Which is also okay. Like,
Revealing that she is part of some royal bloodline.
you don't know my name. Like, it's supposed to be the most motivational fucking thing. You haven't eaten my pussy, is what she
It's-
should have said. And then she
it's-
would have fucked shit up, dude. Ymir would have won that fight, right?
This is
Yeah.
A name isn't motivational
Anything
enough.
for the puss.
Yeah.
it's like I still really like, you know, this part, but it was like the whole Historia Amir showing them, and then the, you know, end of this episode is what I considered the least interested I was in the show. It's right after this where shit turns up. When they return back to the wall.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I was gonna say, shall we continue?
Yeah. Now we're on episode 6, Warrior. Which I
Warrior?
think is really fun. If just really quick, the titles of the episodes. Sorry, Mason, I get to host a little too.
No, I'm so excited to talk about this. I'm like, this is great. This is great. No, like,
I love the way they play with the names of the episodes, right? Because episode 4 is called Soldier. And we don't really realize the dichotomy between soldier and warrior
The naming of the
until even
episodes.
the next episode, right? Because now we're on warrior. And, right, they open up, like you said,
Yep.
we're getting back from Utgard. They're all mean, too. They're all, Ymir would be dead if she was normal.
yeah. I mean, that's something we didn't even discuss was episode titles and like how significant they are.
It's
like,
very significant,
first
even though they're just
one-
one word.
to you in 4,000 years or 2,000. Like, you know, these are some like
And it goes
heavy,
full circle.
meaningful things. So like that's something in and of itself. But yes.
So that I thought was pretty cool. So we get
yes.
into Warrior. The first thing that's going on is they get back. They're hoisting up Ymir. It's a little dark. It's a little scary.
I think the lighting is very telling. Like they did that on purpose. It's reflective of, I mean, what does cloudy weather represent? Like mystery, uncertainty.
You know,
like,
and they tell you.
thematically, you know?
Not that I hated, but I realized I remember the first time watching this episode, how quickly I realized there was a secret I wasn't in on, and how much I disliked that. When Sasha's all like, if Amir's a Titan, then they, and Mikasa just shows up to her face. She's like,
Yeah.
Sasha, shut the fuck up. I'm like, what? But
I
she,
think
she knows something,
do
and
that.
I wanted to know, and it's crazy how they literally, it takes fucking 2 minutes.
I feel like the authors know what we're chomping at the bit to know, and they kind of, you know.
All right, Mason, you give it to the folks. This scene is one of the most epic scenes in the
I would be
entire
interested
series.
to know what this rating for this episode is.
The rating for the episode?
I would imagine it's among one of the top 10 in at least anime, if
That's
not.
AOT season 2 episode 6.
So, yep. I mean, we get back to the wall. We show everyone returning from this battle. Eren, you know, gives Reiner a big old, get up here, bro. You did it. He's all mangled. His arm was, you know, chopped on. But there's a strange mood. There's a strange...
And again, really quick, he's such a bad actor.
Reiner
is such a bad actor. He's so bad.
His buddy, we haven't seen. He hasn't talked. He's never really done anything. But Bertold has been helping him keep his act together because he's literally losing it, which we don't really appreciate or understand till we learn what we do in this episode.
Yeah.
So regardless of what the rating is, it's a fantastic episode. So there's no other way of saying it. We get Reiner and Bertold at top of the wall. Alrighty, guys, let's head back to camp. Hey, Reiner says, let me talk to you really quick. Just really quick. Come over here for a second. I need to tell you something really quick.
You also have Mikasa and Sasha walking away.
Meanwhile, everyone's bombastic side-eye. Freaking, what's going on back there, dude? Criminal side-eye. You know what I'm saying? Something's going on here. So everyone's on edge. Everyone's freaking tensed up, man. Something's going on. So...
Do it again.
What? The bombastic side-eye. Criminal. So, Reiner's just like, yeah, me and Bertold, we got you really here quick, Aaron. I want to let you know, hey, just really quick, not a big deal at all, but I'm the Armored Titan. He's the Colossal Titan. We attacked humanity, a couple years, but now that you're here, dude, we can just go. This makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the, it's like a meme almost, just like one of the biggest drops of, that's what we want to know, or who are these dudes that destroyed our world that day? That
two of the worst actors on Earth.
Destroyed our entire village, killed people, got my mom killed. Who did this and why? It's just dropped on us like that.
Well, they give you, again, it's you start learning a lot of underlying motivation, in my opinion, right? Like the whole thing leading up to that was, again, shitty ass actor, like, oh, I need help, my arm's broken, and he gets to the top and he's like, what am I doing? This is the second time. Armin, tell him, remember how Annie almost squished me like a bug? Like, and he's just pretending the whole time. And again, there's this fucking secret.
Dude, Bertold's behind him just like, bro, what are you even talking about, bro? This is not why we're here, dude.
That's what's killing me.
So good, dude.
They keep on, and then you get Aaron. He's like, you guys have been away from home long enough. And then that's when we get Bertold that pops off, and he's like, Reiner, let's go home. That's where we need to go. We've been away too long. And that's when he goes fucking nuts.
Well, Aaron's just like, oh, this is a joke, right? And I don't know exactly when we split to the flashback. I think it's right after the flag snaps off or something. But they explain that, hey, we did our research on Annie. Where did she come from? We need to find her paperwork. We need to research our enemy. Wait a minute. She actually arrived at the same mysterious time and lack of paperwork that these other two cadets did. Reiner and Bertold. They start doing the math. Armin's like, bro, Reiner gave her the information in the scouting attack. Like, he got attacked by the female Titan. She dipped in his direction. This is all signs pointing to them.
Yeah.
Aaron can't believe it. He's like, these are our friends. Reiner's our brother. Bertold's a little quiet, but we love him. And you can see when we snap back, Mikasa's got her hand on her blade. She's like, all right, MFs, let's go, dude. Like, Mikasa's always ready to go.
I know, she's great.
And it's in that moment Reiner's kind of snaps out of it. The clouds part, rays of sunshine come in. It's almost like the clarity hits him. He's like, oh, I'm a warrior. We need to, I'm sick of being here with all these idiots. We were just kids. We need to do this. And this is probably one of the most epic scenes in the show, definitely within probably season 2, is what I call the right here, right now arc. Is this whole scene. It's Reiner healing himself.
Yeah.
Thus, revealing that he is a Titan. He's got healing abilities. And he starts going on this monologue of, what, we're doing this. He says, right here, or Bertold says, wait, right here, right now? He's like, yeah, right here, right now. We're doing what we want with Aaron. And Mikasa doesn't even skip a beat. She just freaking chops Reiner in half with her blade, which kicks off this altercation. But what I do want to point out here is, like, imagine reading this, right? Reading this in manga is one thing, but what we got as viewers was epic because of the addition of music. Like the music in this show is wild, and particularly the song that plays in this. Can we just hear a clip of it?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Connor, look this up really quick. Hiroyuki Sawano.
Hiroyuki Sawano.
Yes, it's like a live performance. It's some lady in a black dress. I think it's like some German name like Vogelsang. Kai Vogel. It's a live performance. Go about 1:30 in. But, yep, Mikasa chops Reiner. He's sitting there with a half of a blade in his, shoulder. Meanwhile, they said, all right, it's time to go. It's time to transform. And it's just, go about a minute.
About 1:30 in.
No, it's a different one.
Okay.
Let me look this up really quick because it's just such an epic song, dude.
Sesagio, Sesagio.
Yeah,
This is the live one?
Yeah, it's a live performance.
That was a live performance.
Sesagio, Sesagio.
Not that one. Well, anyways.
Hold on, let me see here.
If you were watching that shit, right? That's the thing, right? When we were watching that, not if you were, when we were, and they're telling us what's going on. In that moment where they show us like Reiner's talking, but they stop everybody in still motion, and they show us like everybody's aware of that moment.
Yep.
Hanji's paying attention to that. Mikasa and Sasha are paying attention to that. Everybody's just fucking paying attention to that. And it's so scary because I do this thing where I know I'm not going to ever be put in these situations, but I put myself in the situation. And even Aaron is such a bad actor. He's like, you're just talking crazy right now, right, bro?
What would you actually do? Just take me and you think I'd let you?
Yeah. You're nuts. And I think that's such a little, like, I wouldn't be able to be cool about it either.
I was going to say, like, being a spy, like, revealing your hand and, like, knowing, like, what information, like, you're letting them know, like, you know yourself.
By the way, Mason, Connor and I, we're the ones who started the insurrection.
We were.
I'm Viking dude.
Wait. They don't let them know that on camera.
Imagine.
Is this it, Mason?
Yes.
Is it this one right here?
Yeah, I think so.
Attack on
Or
Titan.
no, it's not.
Vogel, I'm Kafig.
Okay, you want... Yeah, that was the one.
That was it. That's the song.
Go 1:30 in.
That's where I was. It's 1:45 in now.
Nah, this isn't, bro. It's
I don't know what
Attack
to
on
tell you.
Titan Vogel, I'm Kafig.
Let me see. You have the video?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Click it.
It's that one right there.
1:30.
1:30.
I do it this way.
That works.
So it's like you see them starting to lightning is coming around their body, and it's like boom, the colossal, like it is the most epic shit ever. Yes. Dude. It's so good.
Did I do a good job?
Yes.
You think I could try out?
So yeah, just the whole transformation scene.
Oh, we'll cut that. But you're right. That music, everything all together, the timing, they quiet everything down. They show the flags. It's just fucking nuts, right? And then I think we both have a very favorite scene. I told Chantel very specifically, I'm like, I want an Attack on Titan poster for the gym, and I want this part blown up. And it's when, the next scene, they transform. We're in the next episode. It's called Close Combat. Now they're fucking fighting. And again, we start seeing all of our... Okay, like Hanji wasn't highlighted heavily in the first season. She kind of was in the end, in the middle, like as far as like being smart.
Yeah, she was the wacky science character.
Yeah, but they didn't really highlight her as brave until this season. And you notice it. It's like she says it herself. The first thing, she's call to action type of gal. I love Hanji so much. Call to action type of gal. She's like, they're not getting away from this. We're taking the Armor Titan and the Colossal Titan right here, right now. It's going down, right? And I think that's so cool that she's like, let's go.
Yeah, no, she's the one to say attack the Colossal Titan that's transformed on the wall, and then he bursts into steam. Like, she takes immediate action for sure.
Yep, but this is when the intel all comes together. So the episode ends and we know what's going on, or it starts off and they're given all the intel and all that good stuff. And the part that I think is pretty crazy is like Mikasa didn't kill him. She really did hesitate because all of it could have ended right there, right now.
Yeah, she gave a solid shot, but yeah, it wasn't enough.
I think you'd hesitate too if you met a couple people like in college. Can you think of 2 college friends that you spent 4 years with and you find out they like ran over your dog? Would you be able to kill them?
Yeah, no, it's like...
I know it's not equivalent, but...
But yeah, if she's an Ackerman, you think, oh, she would have been... Unless Reiner did his whole healing thing. He does that a couple times,
yeah.
You know, but who knows?
But it's like, it's cool when we start getting again, it's Armin and Hanji. We start seeing his like tactical, like combat tactical advancement. Like he's learning a little bit. She's brave. She's pretty badass too. Mm-hmm. I love that type of shit, but it's when they transform and they're fighting, the scene that always baffled me was when Connie is like, but Reiner and Bertold, they're still in there. We gotta help them. And I'm like, damn, you guys are still in the dark. After that whole download we got, and then you realize they were with them the whole time. They have no fucking idea what's going on.
I don't think it's what, denial for them still? Like, no, these are our buddies.
I don't think they saw them transform.
They can't be, double spies, embedded with us, causing the whole, it probably just doesn't make sense,
But the getting to the fight with Eren and Reiner, that scene is so fucking sick when he grabs him. And he jumps off the wall. I think.
Damn you traitors! And that's where the scene ends and close quarter combat starts. And that whole episode in general, like it's very beautifully done, animated. Like I've seen an interview with who's our author? His name's
Hajime Isayama.
There's an interview with him and Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, the UFC fighter.
Oh yeah.
And they talk about that scene specifically. He's like, dude, you're animating arm bars, neck chokes, figure fours,
real fighting moves.
Very especially the scene that flashes back. Well, I mean, during this fight, Eren's getting his ass whooped. He remembers a move that we flash back to. Annie taught him how to take down a larger opponent. And it is almost like a textbook Greco-Roman wrestling move. She struggles for side and top control, like... If you were a wrestling fan, you would be like, oh, no, this seems all cool.
Into that, yeah.
But yeah, you didn't need to do that as some anime author, but he put great detail into these styles of fighting, which I think is really cool.
It's, I think it's also, kind of like what you're saying, because it's not a lot of, man, I don't want to be.
Yeah, anime is just striking for the most part.
A lot of striking, a lot of movement, like things that make it look fancy, right? So it's cool that, like you're saying, they're literally doing holds,
exactly,
squeezing, and it's just as intense as 20 moves put together to me. Love the scene when they're fighting. Love hearing people doubt him while he's contemplating himself. Everyone's like, no, he's fueled by rage. He's gonna go crazy, but he does the fucking duck.
Gets him on.
I have a lot of beef, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm a beefy person. Anyway, I got a lot of beef because they do that flashback where he's remembering Annie teaching him how to fight. And then they do that thing where, Reiner gets thrown over him and they show us the beginning of Annie and Mikasa fighting.
I wanted to talk about that. How do you think that ended?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Where's the Patreon for that shit?
It alludes to Mikasa coming to Eren's defense during that training exercise, like, hey, I see that move, do it on me, whore. And so it ends with them squaring up. Annie's got her boxer style, and Mikasa's just dead faced, I'll just kill you. And it's who do you think would win just a hand-on-hand human? Because I think Mikasa's good with ODM gear. If she got ODM gear, you're not taking out Mikasa, but Annie's a striker, dude.
Annie
She's
wins.
The female titan.
Doesn't Annie win?
It would be a great. That's one of those ones.
They don't show you.
In human form, though, she's just the best, isn't she?
But yeah, that's something where it's we would love to know that answer as fans,
Well, we don't see a lot of Mikasa hand-to-hand combat, but what we can do is assume that she beat Reiner.
Yeah, but
so she's good.
Yeah,
and
she's
then
definitely good.
They show scenes of her remember when she's hurt and she is in, there's that little scenes of her working out, doing punching bag. He's I caught her doing sit-ups. So she's strong. Mm-hmm. She's instinctual. she's like a natural born fighter, you know, as far as what we've seen. So my money's on Mikasa.
I think my money would be on Mikasa for only one reason, and that would be she would outsmart Annie. But I think Annie is a better fighter.
I think in just an untransformed fist fight, I'm just gonna barely give it to Annie. I don't know why, but like if it's like, hey, you're using your abilities and I'm using my abilities.
Well, the show's very intentional with what they say and what they do with the show, right? So they go out of their way to talk about Annie's combat skills, close combat skills.
Yeah.
They don't do that with anybody else.
No, they don't. You're right.
But
and she's the one who teaches Eren how to fight as far as that goes. It's
And
like
it sucks because he does get the upper hand in the episode Close Quarters, but then he's got him in this crazy headlock, and you see Reiner doing this weird scooting movement, and it's like, why is he scooting? He's getting closer to the wall, and the way this episode ends is wild. The end of Close Quarters is crazy, dude.
I didn't hear anything you said. All I keep thinking is, where's the Patreon? I want to see those two bitches fight.
Yeah, for real, right?
No, I'm joking. But yeah, you're right. You're like, why is he scooting him? And then also...
He does another roar, which attracted Titans last time, but this time no one's coming, so everyone's like, why did he do that little shriek right there? Next thing you know, you're...
All right, so let me just tell you guys what past Melissa wrote. I wish they showed us the fight with Mikasa and Annie. Where the fuck is the Patreon for that shit? I'd rather pay-per-view that fight than Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
These notes are pretty good.
I would pay more to see that.
I'm agreeing with myself.
I want to see
I would rather see the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
God.
I don't even like fighting, and I would rather see that.
I like that. Good note, though.
One of my other favorite moments from that episode is when Hanji goes to direct Eren. She like lands on his shoulder, and he responds to her for the first time. He looks at her. He's like,
in a Titan body,
and she gets. I think it's cute. It's like the first time your dog does paw.
I know.
You know, it's like you're always like paw, paw, and then the first time they do it, you're like, oh, you did it.
I know, it's so sad to see, or sad, like Hanji's like still both bright-eyed, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously this show takes a very different turn towards the latter seasons, but yeah, the end of that episode, Berthold snaps off the wall and, you know, atomic bombs both of them in his colossal, which it's crazy. You just see at the moment of impact, to be continued. Yep. It's one of those episodes where you go, Gah! Like you scream. Like this show is one of the kings that like at the to be continued, you like start making some sort of noise. You know?
Always. Mm-hmm. And they take Eren.
Once again, Eren needs saving. Yes.
Yep. We wake up in the morning. Our team's fucked up. Hanji's hurt. Mikasa's hurt. Armin's okay for some reason because he stayed away like a little pussy.
So, like, yeah, this show does a good job at, like, action. Now we got to reset with some dialogue. But, like, it can't be boring, right? And, like, the whole Hannes hype-up scene is one of my favorite.
Oh, it's,
character that we were
cute.
Introduced to in season 1, you know, meets these guys after they're all banged up. And he's like, oh, we got to get you guys ready to go get your friend, your buddy. He's always needing saving. You guys have been there with, you know, with each other since you were kids. Eat this food. And for some reason, it's my favorite part. They're, like, eating these, like, oatmeal.
Yeah.
It's like very animated, just the way they're like scarf. I'm just always like, I need to be a Nutri-Grain bar or something right now. You know?
Something
like,
dry.
Yeah, like where's my ration at? Like,
it's cute. I do think
and that's a
cute.
great hype up scene for when they, you know, go get Eren again.
Yep.
So you see them getting all the horses to get on the other side of the wall, which leads us to our next arc, you know.
Yeah, but we finally reconvene with the other crew.
The rest, you know, we got Erwin leading the horses on top of the wall to help go get Eren. So we got the whole team back in the same area.
Well, they get filled in. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty neat because, again, the guy that was in the know in season 1, Jean, is now out of the know and he's just in the dark, which I think is pretty cool.
These events, it's like, oh, we heard Wall Rose was breached. No, but we got another situation developing. 3 of your scouts are Titans. What's up with that? It's just like, what? We've been here. We were waiting to hear back from Wall Rose. We thought there was a hole. It's just like the series of events happens very quick right here.
Yeah. The dialogue that goes on right before Hannes meets up with Mikasa and Armin, I think, is something to highlight because it really foreshadows the later seasons.
What does he say?
They're going over it, and Mikasa just asks, like, why does he always leave and go somewhere? She literally says, why does he always leave and go somewhere we're not? And Armin's always like, ever since we were kids, Eren liked to run off on his own, leave us worried sick. Who knows? Maybe that's just the person he's meant to be. Maybe.
Oh.
And then Mikasa ends it with I don't know much. Or sorry, I don't want much just to be near him.
Oh,
that's
my
all.
gosh.
And
that's crazy.
It really foreshadows season 4.
Yes.
Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts?
Wow.
Yeah, the part it says, ever since we were kids, Eren liked to run off on his own, leave us worried sick. Who knows? Maybe that's just the person he's meant to be.
Man,
maybe.
just like that isolated is so profound, but like when it's thrown in with the rest of the show, it's just
because you only think of what you've seen in that moment, which is what they just showed us, which is him running off to beat up the kids that just stole Armin's bread. But it's, again, when you get to season 4 and you put that
in an adult level, an adult caliber, and adult actions.
Such good foreshadowing.
Crazy.
It's nuts. But then, they feed him and they get ready and pumped up to save our boy again.
Yeah, I guess that's when we cut to
fucking loser always getting kidnapped.
Our other party hanging out in the forest. We got Reiner, Bertold, Emir, and Eren.
Yeah.
Because during their escape, Bertold and Reiner grabbed both Eren and Emir.
Yep.
They're all injured, resting in the tops of these forests, just discussing. It's a very talk-heavy part.
It is.
Episode. And there's a lot of information that's being discussed that we still don't have the answers to. So it's a little frustrating to listen to all this.
Yeah.
We're almost like the character Eren. He's like, tell me what's going on. And then they're just having this, just ignoring him, essentially.
Yeah.
So.
And then the whole thing kind of cuts out and they reconvene. And that whole episode really highlights the whole play on mental illness in the show with Reiner.
Yeah, so
that's when they start highlighting that whole thing, and that's when Ymir kind of calls him out. It's like, you've lost your shit, haven't you?
He literally compartmentalized who he was as a warrior and who he was as a soldier. If he would have been living under the roof of these people that he murdered their families, I don't think his brain would be able to function. How can you hold yourself accountable while playing a part with these people? So he literally had to, I'm a soldier. That's where, him being so pathetic and weak, it's so true, because that's who he is. But bro, remember, that's not who you are.
Yeah.
He's fractured.
That whole thing is crazy, because it's seeing Bertold collapse under the weight of needing to hold him together.
Yeah,
it's
and
pretty
that's
nuts.
where Amir's according to Bertold's face, this ain't the first time this happened. And he's like, hey, Reiner, friend, buddy, dude, snap out of it. Please look at me. We are warriors. Oh, yeah. It's
you think they're going to give us a raise?
Dude, it's just Eren's so mad that,
They could have stayed subtle about it, I think. They didn't need that scene, because you're figuring it out quick, where they're soldier warrior.
And even us as viewers, we're still what does this actually mean? You're throwing these terms out, but we don't know.
Yeah, Reiner should never be hired for another anime again. He's the shittiest fucking actor.
He's a great character, though. I love Reiner as a character.
He's just such a shitty actor.
And so they're discussing all these things, who Ymir is, where she's from, what they're about to immediately do. Well,
they also show us they close the loop on the little Marco thing right there, which I think is when that's how they could, again, I love subtleties.
We should
I'm a
have
big
discussed
fan.
that in season 1, but there was just no time. But
Marco sucks,
the whole
who cares?
but it's just
fucking
such a
stupid
sad character.
This is a stupid name, stupid freckle face,
dumbass bowl cut,
right? Team Marco sucks.
It's just something about there's many instances where people are dying and they're begging or pleading in this show. It's kind of just ooh, this is not, I don't like that, It doesn't matter who the character is.
It's not a fun show to watch.
It's you could see your most hated character go through that and you're just damn, that's not what I thought I wanted. I thought I wanted revenge. That's sad,
But I thought, so the thing that I didn't like was when they do that little cut where he's like, oh, based on what we did, do you think they're going to give us a raise? I think they will. I mean, at least bring us to officer. I didn't need that, because what I thought was sick is when they showed, all they had to do was show the Marco scene. Yeah. Why is he getting eaten after he just sent made him get eaten, right?
Literally developing multiple personality. Like,
Yes.
it's overtaking. Like, you truly are
But
believing this dream.
How
you know?
beautiful if they just left it subtle. You know what I mean? We didn't need him to act.
That scene went a little long, but like by the time they're able to finish discussing like what they want to do, it's like they see a green flare. Like the scouts are there to get them, so
Yeah.
they're forced to make a decision. Which we are now entering the latter chapter of season 2, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're almost there.
There's that exchange with Aaron and Reiner when he's frustrated. He's like, cut the shit. And I think that scene is really cinematic as far as, the camera. And I love how they do that. Like the camera shaking, it's cutting, like it's a panned cut. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, it's literally like whoosh, Reiner, whoosh, Aaron, the thing that they show the stills of the people.
Yeah.
Cinematically, I think that's one of like a very nice, it makes you feel the anxiety they're feeling.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like shouting going on between
you feel
them.
anxious.
A lot of calling each other out on, what, the truth is. And it's a very interesting scene.
And then they I think it's neat that they show like Ymir how do you say it? Like she's so observant because not only was she able to,
she's not one-sided. She's able to look at both sides kind of
she knows what the fuck is
objectively.
going on.
Yeah,
that's the part that I think is lit, dude, is this whole part right here when they finish that exchange and then Ymir calls out Reiner and Bertolt. She's like, what's up with the hairy Titan? She's like, when you guys looked, you guys both had your jaws dropped. What the fuck is going on there, right? Mm-hmm. And then Aaron, who's the enemy, right? And the thing Ymir says that I love, if I told you, and then it shows she knows, and she's kept it to herself.
Gotcha. When she's deciding what she wants to do,
they cut her off.
Do I want to go with Reiner and Bertolt, or Reiner and Bertolt? Do I want to help Aaron and go back to Historia? Like, what is in my best interest? She really is on the fence, just making a decision right there.
So she's about to say it. Like, if I told you, she gets cut off. Reiner says, Ymir, there's no future for this world, and you know it. And I'm all, this world? There's another world? And that's, again, they just start peeling back those layers as far as like, what's going on? Like, what's the whole picture here? Because as far as we know, humanity's like cattle. We're in a pen. We're inside the walls. We almost went extinct. We've been here for 100, right?
Yeah,
and all of a sudden,
more to this world. Yeah.
This world.
There's an outside
Fucking
world.
sick, right? And then Reiner's like, yo, I know you're a lesbian for Krista. Let's save her and you're going to be okay. He just calls her out right away.
Hey, we got you. I got you on Krista. Just trust, bro. Just trust. We don't know what, but I got you. That's essentially what.
I know Soldier Me wants to marry her, but Warrior Me wants you to hit that.
Yep. So now we get their escape, or I guess they're starting to.
They see the scouts closing in, and then that's when it kind of goes off.
Yep.
And then we're on episode 10, Children. Which, by the way, they're all kids, man. That's the part that's fucking sad.
Yep.
Is they're all like, what, 15?
15, 16.
What were you doing when you were 15?
Not in charge of anybody. In charge of life or death situation, that's for damn sure. Nothing like this. So, yeah, it's crazy that these guys are living in this world where it's like, yeah, you got teenagers leading kids. It's crazy.
Yeah, we were up to no good when we were 15.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
You weren't helping people get extinct.
That's true. At least we weren't doing that.
Yeah, weren't contributing to genocide, So
No, yeah, you're doing all right.
Doing all right.
You're doing okay, buddy. So yeah, we get to the next episode, and this is when we start hearing about because they're still talking. Bertold, Ymir, they're chatting, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Because he asks her, he's like, I devoured your friend. You're like, wait.
So
you eat people?
We're given more information on how Reiner, Bertold, and Ymir are associated with one another.
We start hearing about that Titan transformation, and again, they're just peeling back those layers because now we kind of know it's, we saw the flashbacks of Aaron and Grisha, right? We know they were together. Something intense was happening. Aaron, this is the only way. They showed us that so many times in season 1, right? Like that little flash. And now we kind of get to figure out what happened. Aaron must have eaten his dad. Because dad's gone. He's got his key. he woke up the next day like not remembering much, because you're learning.
Yeah, becoming a Titan. We learn becoming a Titan, intelligent Titan. One of
Takes
the 9.
eating the person that you, because they show us the flash of Ymir eating Marcel, and she had no sharp teeth, and then we saw her with sharp teeth. So I don't know, I think it's so cool how they just start, and it's up to you as the viewer, it's up to you as the audience member to kind of put that together. Mm-hmm. Otherwise you're just getting the story handed to you. But if you're listening and you hear that, you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, no, these guys are in transit.
Yep.
Scouts kind of catch up to them. They start questioning them as Reiner's protecting Bertold and, those guys with his armored hands, and Mikasa's got that crazy look on her eye as she's, oh my gosh, she's just like, let him go. And Connie's like, God, you guys are our brothers, you're not. It's funny to see how everyone is responding to this series of events. And I think one of the character asks them, like, Bertold, like, what's going through your head, man? Like, what are you thinking? And he's like, honest, he's like, we really did think of you guys as our friends, like, but like, we need help. Like, it's just very strange, that interaction that happens before, I guess, this Titan charge that Erwin's leading at them, to stop their, escape.
Another thing really quick, just to backtrack a little bit, when Ymir turns into a human and they show us that, we see the paths for the first time, which is pretty neat. She's like, oh, when I opened my eyes, I saw freedom. And she's in the sand. She's looking at that giant, shiny tree. As a viewer, you don't know what the fuck you're looking
what
at.
is this magical aspect of this show we are now being introduced?
So I thought that was pretty neat. It's like, that's another little quip. Like, you're like, wait a second.
There's so much.
I need to know what's going on. But
important.
They give us that whole, like, Ymir's backstory where we see that. I hate myself so much. It says...
oh my God, here we go. What does the note say?
It says, we see Ymir's backstory. That's when we see the paths and we see that ass.
Oh my God. So yeah, I guess this Ymir is the vehicle that we use to link between the outside world and this world with Titans. So, but yeah, that ass.
You do. She's sitting in the sand and they pan out. She's naked. You're like, shit.
Yeah.
It's tight.
What's this blue dune looking area, right?
But that whole exchange between Mikasa, like what you're talking about when they start getting that fight, that exchange between Mikasa, Ymir, and Krista, which, by the way, how stereotypical lesbian of Ymir and Krista. It's like, I just found out your real name.
Oh,
okay, I'll move to another country with you. I'll just follow you blindly. They really leaned into that fucking stereotype. Stupid.
Yep, they're literally moving fast right now. So,
well, Krista, you have to go with me.
On top of Titans moving fast, yes.
Okay. I'm with you all the time. Fucking dumb. But I love the part where Krista shuts Ymir up. She's all, can't you tell she's serious? When Mikasa's like, I'm going to kill that bitch.
Mikasa's like, you got 48 seconds. I'm killing you.
Yep. Fucking love that shit. But like you said, when they do that thing and they strike a chord in Birdie, what does he say? Where he was like, "Were you really our friend at all?" Connie says that, and it's so sad. It's so sad. They don't want it. They don't want the obligation. The thing he yells all frustrated, if you guys really cared about us, someone come find us.
Like, think about, like, actually going in deep cover, like, where you have to, like, be believable. Like, do you think, like, these, like, cops that are, like, going with the Hells Angels dudes, do you think they, like, feel the same way? Where it's like, oh, I'm just doing my job? Or do you think, oh, no, that's my guy Tony now? I don't know. You got to wonder, like, it's probably, like, people
you
go
don't
through
want
this.
to. Yeah, you
people
shouldn't.
Go through this, yeah. I could not do that.
That's why I'm not a spy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'd have to be, if I was going to be a spy, I would need to be like under heavy hypnosis to be like a sleeper agent.
You need to know you're not even spying.
Yeah,
Hey, we're going to pay for you to just go live here. And the next thing you know, you're just like, oh, I'm just sending letters. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah, right. Imagine that whole thing with Erwin, right? Now we're charging. They're like, that crazy bastard's bringing the fucking Titans to us.
Yeah, this season, this last couple episodes ends with everyone being in a really crappy spot, you know? Scouts are dying.
Erwin gets his fucking arm bit off.
Aaron gets his arm bit off. Armin is protecting someone with a head injury. Jean, you know?
Because Reiner was chucking the fucking...
Yep. Reiner and Bertold are fighting off a horde of Titans. Mikasa and Ehrman are clasping hands, looking at what is the smiley Titan
approaching
them.
Yep.
which we haven't seen since episode 1.
Yeah.
Distinctly different from the other ones, I feel like. I just remembered always that big grinning smile. I was like, that one's creepy.
Yep.
That one is creepy.
Very creepy. She eats Aaron's mommy.
Yep.
Stupid bitch.
And it's the very end that we get even more information where everything looks like hope is lost. Titans are literally on top of them. Aaron gets this second wind of courage. I'll always wrap that scarf around you type of talk, you know.
That's the next episode, fool.
Oh, is that technically the last one?
That's the last episode.
Okay.
Scream.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
My favorite part of this episode was when the guy in the white mask with the knife.
Huh?
Scream.
Oh my gosh. You're dumb.
I know. I'm aware. But yeah, that's the whole thing. We see Hannes try to take him on. It's like, oh, the fate of this, right? And we see Hannes die.
Oh man, our boy Hannes.
And that's where it starts rippling, right? Mm-hmm. He dies, and I mean, they don't make. It's kind of sad.
He's definitely still shaking off the cobwebs. He ain't the best soldier, that's for sure. Huh?
They made his fucking fight scene with that Titan so lame.
He tried.
He's like cutting fingers off. Like he's like, I got your pinky toe.
He tried. Yeah, definitely.
He barely succeeded. Like the best thing he did was cut her Achilles, bring her to a knee, and then that's when she was like, I gotcha. Mm-hmm. And yep, she just takes a bite out of him. And that's the sad part too, because when she's eating him, she fucking grabs him like this, and she like chomps him, and they zoom in on his little his little face in her hands.
Oh.
And he's just
like scarfing him down.
He's just looking at everybody all dead.
Oh,
his little face.
Once again, this Smiley Titan is just wrecking our favorite beloved characters.
And Aaron, okay, Connor, do your Aaron impression, because this is when he does it.
When he does what?
Oh my God.
What did I say earlier?
What a shitty guy at callbacks.
You already knew this.
I'm useless.
I'm useless. Yeah.
I can't protect anybody I love.
He's done this before many fights, and when you expect him to pop off, he barely, if not at all, you know.
Yep.
So.
Mikasa, I need help. That's when he fucking self-cannibalizes, doesn't do shit.
Here we go again. He's going to take on the Smiley Titan.
I thought they were going to kiss during that scene. When Mikasa's like, Aaron, I just want to say thank you for always wrapping my scarf.
Yeah, I guess
for
it
always
look
being
like they were
there
gonna
for
die.
me.
Yeah.
You're always there for me. And he's like, no, Mikasa, I will protect.
Yeah, he's usually just in friend mode, but that's probably the most romantic that we kind of see him, huh?
I thought they were going to kiss.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, are they going to fucking kiss? But then he gets up, and that's when his fingers weren't healed when he was trying to transform. Mm-hmm. And then that's when he gets up when the Titans, and you see it does the cool little fucking DNA thingy.
Yep, the like rainbow healing effect. Yes.
I love that. I think that's a cool way to do regeneration. That's a dope ass way that they did it. So they show that, and then that's when they do okay, let's do it.
And at that moment where Aaron makes contact with this Smiley Titan's hand, a spark of Titan energy happens.
I'm gonna kill you.
Aaron has the intent of, I'm going to kill you. And all of a sudden we see all these Titans that are about to mess up our fellow squad members kind of turn tail and just beeline it towards the Smiley Titan and just start ripping it apart. Everyone's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Is Aaron controlling this?
And that's where I got more beef. Let's keep going with the beef.
All right.
Because the first one happens, right? They make the contact. Boom.
Gotcha.
Why does he do the air punch if he doesn't know what he's doing?
It's kind of like a go get him type of movement, you know? It sends more Titans.
Doesn't that kind of imply that he knows he's doing this ability? Like when they make the contact, they're going for it. He throws that punch, and then that's when you see like a Titan simultaneously go with his punch.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, so does he know, or was it instinctual? What was it?
I was going to say, I don't know if it's just for that millisecond of contact or if it's maybe a little bit of a period. I guess the specifics, we don't know. But yeah, he sends maybe a couple waves of Titans.
And then when they're eating her up, he looks at Reiner and them, you rat bastards, I'm going to kill you where you stand. And then they all
yep. Go
and then they go after him.
Yeah. So it may just be.
Was my face stupid? You're just
always. It's always stupid. Quit asking.
But that's like
Melissa's stupid
that's
face.
Huge for us. Like that's huge for us as viewers and like the characters in the show because they realize, wait a minute, if we can control the Titans, we got this war. We got this, dude. Like, this is Endgame. Like, this is the beginning of Strat, you know?
But that's when everyone gets more reveals. They start showing us like, oh, Jean's a little smart too, because he's like, oh, Armin, me and Jean were talking about it. Mm-hmm. But you see everyone get a little more serious. Like, if you can do it, it's up to you to fucking find out, bro. Yep. You know, you need to understand what your powers are, because we don't know what the hell is going on right now, and it's so scary.
So how does this season end? Like, what do we pan out on? Like,
it ends with them, you know, they show us
that battle.
They show us that whole scene with them, and then they kind of show us Aaron. He's on top. That's the last thing we see is Aaron's on top of the wall. He's looking out where they were just battling. They're like, you know, Armin's, I think his monologue is, you know, they cleared Wall Rose. It was free of Titans.
Yes.
We're good to go. They pan out from Aaron looking over the wall. It goes over the field, and then we end up with the Beast Titan, and there's a dude that's like popping
with
out.
Glasses, yeah.
Yep. Grisha glasses, by the way. Because I remember when I first saw it, I was like...
Circular, yeah.
I was like, wait a second, is that Grisha? I thought, right? But they show him, and the thing that they ended on is he just goes, not yet.
Yeah, who is this guy?
Buff.
Who is this
He's
Titan?
just ripped.
Wearing similar looking glasses to characters that we've seen, and not yet. What? Not yet.
Yep.
Well, what do you? Not yet. What? And that is the end of season 2.
End season 2.
Dang, dude.
I love season 2 of Attack on Titan. That's when I say, like, I was like, wait a second, this show is top tier.
Hero and Close Quarters are monumental episodes.
Yeah,
they're monumental to just anyone that likes stories, film, music,
symbolism.
Exactly. So if you can appreciate any of those things, just try to just get through season 2 for those episodes at least.
If you've got any taste and class as a human being, you will make it past 2 seasons.
Yeah, if you're just like, I would never watch a show like that, but like I need a benchmark. Like if you get to season 2, you get to, you know, Hero and Close Quarters, and you're just like, this is not what I like at all. Just stop watching. Yeah. Like, it is phenomenal.
Hero's deep in there, though, dog. That's like season 3, episode 17. I know that because I watch it when I work out.
If you're still on the fence by then, it's just like, I don't know what's going to interest you. Like, that's crazy.
I just can't seem to finish it. I've watched up to season 4.5-ish, like 3 times.
Well, I think that's a matter of numbers, too.
You're gonna... Oh, go ahead.
When you get to any show that has 4 or 6 seasons, like, it's the, you know,
I've watched
odds of you finishing.
Hunter like 100 times. It has nothing to do with how long it is.
You're gonna finish it when we get to the final part of it.
By the time we get to it, I'll have finished it.
We're gonna force you to finish
I'll
it.
have finished it.
It's okay. I feel like probably a reason why, because I don't think it's you enjoy the storyline, you enjoy the, I guess the complicated aspect of it. What you don't like, because Hunter has all of those same aspects. Mm-hmm. There's a great storyline. It's very deep as far as like the character development and all that stuff goes. It's freaking dope. You like it when, because you described Attack on Titan as bleak. Mm-hmm. In the episode before this one, when not in our episode, but the last episode 24 of the podcast.
For me, it's like a one-time watch kind of thing.
You wouldn't rewatch it because it's depressing as fuck.
Yeah, and I feel like I got what I needed to get out of it.
You know what happens.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happens at the end still.
No, but like as of what you've watched.
Yeah.
But I feel like you'd like it more if there was a lot more sprinkled in comic relief that made it more like classical anime.
They kill off the comic relief,
right?
So it's like
they barely give it to you.
I don't like serious things. 90%
this is
of the
very
time.
much a serious show.
Connie and Krista. That's probably another part. Let's talk about it real quick. Connie and Sasha, when they get Krista, and he's like, "We gotta go. We gotta get to safety." Sasha's like, "Can't anyone use some grub?" And you know, it made me think of I remembered being a kid when I would go to church with my parents, and we'd be like getting to the point because you'd take communion. They're like, "Oh, there's 15 minutes left." We'd sit back down. I'd be like, "Mom, where are we going for lunch?" And she's like, "We haven't even finished yet." So Sasha's my spirit animal too, on the down low. But I get it. It's a dark show. It's heavy, especially because you grow to like these people. You just grew to like Reiner in the 2 episodes before when he risked his life for Connie. He was fucking badass and picked up a Titan and threw it out the window. You're like, oh, this guy's pretty fucking cool. you know?
I just really like the rate of progression with this show. Like, even like season 2, they've given us some huge answers, but we're left with just the same amount of questions, if anything, you know?
Yeah.
So they keep you engaged while, not, breadcrumbing you along too badly.
All right, I have a name for it. I got a label for it. Make a fun thing for it if you can.
Okay.
It's our Titan takeaways.
Titan takeaways. Titan takeaways.
I just thought of that, guys.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right, so Connor, since you haven't rewatched it or watched it in a while, and we just gave you the down low again on season 2, what are your Titan takeaways?
My Titan takeaways. Let's think here. So yeah, I mean they definitely got into a lot of the more of the breadth of the show in season 2, and that's it. Like you said, probably when I started being like, oh, okay, it's deeper than just they're fighting monsters, which is like kind of what season 1 almost seems like until towards the end it kind of seems like, oh well, they're just trying to figure out how to fight these monsters. They don't know where they're from. Season 2 is like, nah, you're about to be fucked up.
Yep.
That's pretty much most of my takeaway from that.
Yep. That pretty much envelops most of it as far as like a takeaway. Like shit just got fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You thought you knew, but you don't know shit.
Yeah, for real.
Even as an audience member, when we're technically like omnipotent, we know what's going on, or omniscient, excuse me, not omnipotent. We're not God. But like when you're omniscient, right? What are your Titan takeaways?
I think from season 2,
You could do 5. I like 5.
Yeah.
5's fun.
I'll throw some out there. So definitely just the establishment of the Beast Titan, I think, is very important, because we got this external power that's very important in what's going on, but we just don't know. So I think the establishment of that is important to understand motives and behaviors coming up. So just knowing what that character is, I feel like, is important, because that person is that we see at the end.
Yeah.
Little do we know, like, we get much more of them.
Becomes one of the main antagonists.
Backstories for them. Like, that's what I love about this show. Well, here, let me keep going. Another takeaway from season 2 is, I would say, the development of Aaron's abilities. Like, we see that he's getting a hang of being the attack Titan. Or his Titan, because we don't really see anything special from Aaron other than just so it's like all these other guys got a gimmick. That guy's super massive, you see it. This guy's armored, you see it.
Yeah.
Annie, obviously she shows her versatility. Aaron's just kind of there, so it's like what makes him special? So I think it's important to take away that he's developing those abilities too. Like obviously he just has to be a good soldier first. And then I would say my big third takeaway is just going to be the outside world. Amir, Reiner, and Bertold come from somewhere else. And where we don't know. Why we don't know. I think those are my big 3 takeaways right there.
Okay, so you're going to give me 3.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, just because I think my other ones would kind of relate to those ones.
Yeah, no, I get it. I guess, yeah, mine there, I think it's pretty neat as far as like 2 teams. Right. First, we didn't know what was going on. The shit was happening. All of a sudden, they're more sentient than they were before, and they're just attacking humanity. That's what we had before.
Titans versus humans.
But now we know when Reiner's like, we have our mission. That means he's answering to someone.
Hierarchy.
A greater power, right? Which is fucking nuts. As far as now, it went from like us versus the world to like now it's like us versus them, and how much more of them is there than we know. I thought that was fucking sick. I like this season because they begin to highlight more interpersonal relationships between the characters, and a lot of that camaraderie is what we end up falling in love with as an audience later on. And that's where we're just getting the first taste of that, in the season. So camaraderie is really heavily highlighted for me here. I think it's the first, again, a lot of just character development. So that's my biggest takeaway for this one is like Armin's not only smart, but he's learning how to be brave. Look at, he saved his friend Jean, where the last time we saw him falter when he had to stand up for Aaron or do whatever he had to do. I think that's fucking dope. Erwin. I want to say Erwin because to me he's one of the like biggest characters.
The leader of the Scouts, yes.
And he is true to his character, right? He says, you know, give your heart, give your soul. You fucking. He says, I'm replaceable. Mm-hmm. You do whatever you got to do to get Eren.
He's literally got his arm in the mouth of a Titan, and he's saying, "Go forward, don't." Stop for me. I will punish you if you stop for me. Go.
Erwin, one-armed Erwin is the one who stabs, you know, Mikasa's trying to fucking get to when he drops his arms and he's running off and he's trying to get Eren, right? One-armed Erwin's the one that stabs Birdie.
Yep.
Gets him free.
Yep.
That's fucking nuts.
Yes. He's
so fucking badass.
Erwin is one of the goats for sure.
Sucks that Levi wasn't in the fight.
Oh, I think, yeah, because
he sprained his ankle.
too OP.
Stupid. But yeah, so the us versus them thing, now we know that there's another...
Because it's from that point on that Annie, Reiner, and Bertold are referred to as like they.
Yep. Now we know our
They,
antagonist.
them, like,
Yep.
they're different from us. That's where it all begins right
We know
there.
one of our antagonists.
Yep.
We are aware that whatever, I think another big takeaway, even though for some reason it seems to go flat in the later seasons, but they emphasize the importance of Historia in both worlds, right? Even
royal
their
bloodline, yes.
even their world, right? Reiner's like, oh, she comes from an important family in the church. One thing he says that I'm always like a little curious about when they're talking about the coordinate, because that's another thing we learn about the coordinate. That's a big one for me too. So I guess those are the big ones. So we learn about the coordinate, all that stuff. He says, he's like, if Eren's not the coordinate, Krista's gonna make it easier to find them. Does she have like a fucking Titan radar?
I was going to say, they just throw these words out there. It's like, well, we know a coordinate is like a intersecting point.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can guess what a coordinate is, but like, we don't truly understand what they're talking about.
So those are mine.
More mysteries.
Those are mine. Anything else you want to say about season 2?
No,
Team?
it just gets us ready for season 3 with more enemies, more fighting, and...
Season 3, I love the way season 3 develops.
Season 3 is a good one.
Yep, because now we're starting to learn our enemies that are closer in proximity, more understandable.
Without.
Yes. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, guys. This was fun.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye. Boom.